with the camera first. Okay, Daddy with the camera first. All right, Daddy, go. Go, Daddy, go.
Hello.
Hey, me.
Hi, girlfriend. How are you?
Hi.
Hey,
Oh my goodness. Oh, you better watch that cup.
We took that outside.
You can go put them down, buddy.
Oh, happy anniversary. Sit down in this chair.
Yeah, I'm fine. I gotta
Please
go out
let
and
me
get
make
all the
these.
lies I told today.
To her yet. We'll give it to her later.
I'm sorry.
You need to put them somewhere else.
And I wasn't coming home from work. I had already left. They found coverage for me.
Oh.
It was on Woodstock Road when I talked to everybody.
my
Are you okay?
Oh my
So
goodness.
no, I didn't. I was supposed to have a class, but I didn't have a class today.
Oh, you didn't have to.
Some more.
What?
It didn't work out.
There's some more.
Yeah.
Come on in and sit down, everybody. Get it.
No, we're gonna wait yet.
Not yet.
We're gonna wait.
We're gonna wait till.
Did you know we were coming?
What?
Did you know we were coming?
No, I had no idea you were coming. Malachi, you shocked me. And Don, where's Susie?
Malachi's here.
Yeah.
Hey, shoes. No, shoes on. That was me.
No, she's here
somewhere.
They're here. Where would you like to sit, Cindy?
I thought
Here?
Mike
I gotta go
blew it
outside
for
for a
us.
second. I forgot my
Oh, who are those happy?
Yeah.
That one's grandfather and that one's Gigi.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, wait, let me put my cup up here so it'll be out of the way.
I'll put it here.
Okay, that'll be good.
That was an old picture.
Yes, a very old picture.
Was that
That,
an
that
engagement
picture,
picture?
that picture is 66 years old.
I was gonna say, was that your engagement picture?
Engagement picture, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Who's
Aunt
that?
Carol.
Oh.
Babies are such a nice way to start.
Who is that?
Well, that's me, and that's Aunt Carol.
Aunt Carol's over there.
Wasn't she tiny?
Did you have her?
Yes, I had her.
And she had Papa and Aunt Kathy, Mary's mom. So, do you know who Gigi's sister is? His wife. Aunt
It's a
Kathy.
girl.
Aunt Susie.
Aunt Susie, sorry. Aunt Susie.
Victoria, I love that color on you. It's very pretty.
And
You,
then
all you
Mrs.
girls look lovely. Look at that. I love those.
We have the same.
Yeah, they're nice. Did you have those made? Hi.
Hi,
Thank you. This is
were you surprised?
so shocked.
Shocked.
Did you hear us coming in?
I heard something, and I thought that's a little too quick for Carrie because we just talked to her that 15 minutes before, and she said she had just left work.
Where'd you go to lunch?
He was saying about this restaurant downtown, and I kept saying, McCormick and Schmick? No, that's not it. That's where we went for lunch.
Oh, gosh.
Is that where you
That's where-
meant to go or not?
So that's where we meant to go.
Hey, surprise.
And it was very good. It was very good. I had found
She said, happy
Stuff.
anniversary.
Did you
Founder
hear you
stuff
said
in
on
Malachi.
Oh, Malachi. Is Malachi? Where's your name tag? Where's your name tag? Where's your passport?
Oh, God.
What were you?
I took her down to Embercombe and Finch, is it? The restaurant, a seafood restaurant.
McCormick.
McCormick, yeah. I don't know why I want to say the food store, but yeah. And we had lunch down there. But I left her off at the door, and when I went in through the restaurant, and I didn't see her, and I came back out, and here she's sitting against the window, looking out on the side, in the bar. And that's where we ate lunch. She was like, a nice big window. And the bartender, there weren't many Pastor Frank was one of the two men, I think, sitting next to where she was. And there was one other couple, I think, sitting at another table, and that was it for the whole bar. It's a pretty big bar. And it's part of the restaurant. You walk right around the end there, and there's the restaurant looking out. And she was there, and she liked it, so that's where we stayed. And the bartender didn't have much work, so he really gave us a treat. I mean, he was really nice. Grandmother insisted I give him a big tip, which I did. But he brought us a dessert we didn't ask for, and it was, I mean, just one dessert to share. He said, while you're sitting here, he said, I'll give you this to share. And it was delicious. It was some kind of a cake with chocolate over it, and had ice cream on it. But it was all blended together the way and it was delicious. The two of us sat there with our spoons and ate the whole thing. But she had all her. She wanted seafood, and I got myself what I normally get, a nice piece of steak. But we had asparagus.
We get candy on our sets.
Which I don't like, but it came with the meal, you know. It's a fancy, and I cut a piece to try it, and it was kind of hard. It was
For neighbor.
Usually it's mushy, and I just don't like it. You know, that's why I don't like it. I never eat it. But this wasn't mushy. You cut it off with a knife, and you chew it up. It was delicious. I mean, only time I've ever had something like that, because I don't like it.
So do you normally go there to eat, or is that your favorite place?
No, we haven't been there for a long time. It's a long time. It's one of the nicest places in Baltimore for seafood. It's not cheap. When you go there to park, it costs you $7 to park. And then if you don't get the little white card from them to put into the meter when you're paying your bill, it costs you $14. So you gotta know what you're doing, you know. And the food is good there. They have a chef there. The guy was telling us, our chef right now is a young man, and I forget what he said, what age, but he was a young man.
Just throw it out.
And he said he is super. He says he puts out some dishes that are just grandma loved her. She had fish and seafood. I can't remember because I don't like the seafood.
I kind of remember bits and pieces. I remember I had taken down the curtains in the apartment
To where?
Daddy and Susie and I lived, and I didn't get them all ironed the night before, so I got up early.
Is this a Carol Burnett story where you wore the curtains?
Yeah, right. I love it. And I ironed those curtains, you know, and then I guess got dressed, go to the wedding.
I don't remember any of that. That's
You and I,
She's the photographic one.
not photographic.
Okay, Dan.
I do remember being at the women's club after.
Right.
Is that where your
Now-
reception
That was the
Yeah.
reception.
Yeah.
So you missed the wedding?
Grandpa, 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 move over here.
Chair over here.
You want to see both of you.
More.
Do you remember
Sit next
anything
to her.
about that day at all
Yeah.
before you got
Look
to
about
the
that
church?
Picture.
It rained, didn't it?
It rained as we were leaving the church.
Some of the line of fire.
Yeah, that's
As
right.
we were
Got
leaving.
out of the way.
The church.
No, as we were leaving the house.
Well, but it rained.
Because they
while
brought
we
the
were
car
there.
up to the side road.
Were you there?
Who did you marry?
Yeah, it did. It started raining as we left
And they
Glendon
brought the
Church.
car up the side so that we could
That
go to the
was-
screen
but that
porch
was-
and we can go down.
This is our first and last argument.
Or it's just a
You
continuum.
guys don't remember the same story, do you?
Maybe it's
Before
just
we
a
got to
continuum.
before we got to your mother's
Yeah, I think
house,
it is.
we had to leave the church.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Are you sure you want this? I mean,
I was a far distant memory at this point.
You weren't a memory at all.
No, you weren't a twinkle in the eye
Oh, I
yet.
was.
Sorry.
No, you weren't. No.
That's right, Carol was the first twinkle.
Yes.
Right.
And
Don't
she'll
forget it.
always be the first twinkle.
That's right. Don't
Papa's
forget
just
that.
afterburn.
What'd you say, Victoria?
She's the twinkle, he's the afterburn.
I like that.
And Kathy.
Better
and
known as
Kathy-
the after stinker.
Yeah.
And Kathy's the
You've been a
Renee.
stinker all your life.
but anyway, we left the church and it started to rain.
stinker.
That's right.
And Bill's dad had arranged for the Consolidated, the company that they all worked for, to borrow the limousine to take us away from the church. Well, it took me to the church, and then we went down to his mother and dad's home and had a little more, I guess, reception there. I don't know what. We were there too.
No, I don't think so.
remember.
Just
But anyway, we changed our clothes
Yeah.
there and to go off
There.
for our honeymoon.
wasn't there.
And we were taken down, and it did start to rain then.
Cartoon Network.
What's the matter?
You're allowed to ask Carol, were you
Not yet.
She was trying to help you out. If you couldn't remember, maybe Carol would remember.
No, the only other one that
I think the
that's here
photographer has given up.
was Aunt Susie.
That would have been there.
Where you
Oh
went.
yeah.
But anyway, we went
Tell
down
them
to the
about
Lord
China.
Baltimore Hotel in Baltimore City, and we had dinner there. And I think Grandfather was a little nervous because he rushed out of the limousine and went on in the hotel.
Left you in the
and
car.
left me in the car.
Ah, so that's where Bill gets in.
Well, you could keep up with me.
But anyway, we had
In the house.
we had
Look, they're talking for video.
See the expression back.
so we had dinner. Do you remember what you had? A filet, I think.
Most likely.
Crab
Yeah.
cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No crab cakes, no.
No, I
Yeah,
don't
the
think so.
crab cake.
No.
Did you
And,
have candy?
At the reception, probably.
Yes, we did have candy.
No.
Yes, we had a very nice reception. We had those little chocolate
Metaphors.
and we had
From
those
burgers.
ices.
From
No,
Bergman's or
no,
whatever.
Fisk.
Mm.
Fisk.
Yes.
It's no longer. I don't think they're in business anymore.
Yeah,
But
but they
anyway,
made those
and
fancy
they
molded
had-
ice creams.
Right, and that's what we had.
Yeah,
With,
very
things from Fisk.
exquisite.
And then we spent the night at the hotel, and then the next morning it was. I don't think it was raining when we left the
I
hotel.
have the golden ticket, but there's
And
no
we,
such thing as a
um,
We
Walker's
didn't
factor.
leave the hotel until the next day.
That's what I said. The next morning we left the hotel, and we drove to where you got no. We drove to where
Rehoboth.
you get no. We didn't drive to Rehoboth. We had to get the ferry.
Oh, that's right.
Because we didn't have a Bay Bridge. in
Right.
those
That's
days.
right. Oh my gosh, they're that old.
Right. Well, but the thing of it is, they had just started building the Bay Bridge, and the only
Down the
what do you
Chesapeake
think?
Bay.
You had
Right.
a choice. You could go all the way up and around.
Right.
Or you could
Wait for the ferry.
Huh?
Or you can wait for the ferry.
Or you
Right.
could wait for
How
the ferry.
younger?
Which we
10
did.
years.
And on the way over,
Wow.
it started to rain. So the only pictures we have
But that's impossible.
even find them,
No,
of our
that's not
honeymoon
impossible.
are the pictures of the
Building the Bay Bridge.
building the
The
big
coffer dams that they put down there and start.
and he was so excited about watching them put in.
We were right next to it. We could look right down
You
and
spent
see
the
what
week watching them.
But then when we finally got down to Dewey Beach to the Mitchell's cottage where we were staying, it
old
was
was I when they
raining
got
so
married?
hard you
13.
couldn't see your hand in front of your face. And grandfather pulled right up to the door because they didn't have a porch or anything. The door opened right out on the sidewalk. And we got soaked just getting from the car into the house, into the apartment. And and that whole week, I mean, normally you could see the water from the apartment, which was upstairs. It was like a garage in the bottom, I think, and then the apartment was the bathhouse, and then the apartment was upstairs. And there were 3 houses actually. The one that we all stayed in when you all were little, remember? Aunt Dottie would have us down, and then the Mitchell family themselves had the front cottage, which was right on the beach. But anyway, the whole week it poured.
Oh, that's the
rain.
best romantic weekend ever.
And grandmother slept a lot. and you know, we read, but at any rate, we finally one night went up to Rehoboth. We go out for dinner, and I think we were the only people in the restaurant. It was pouring, and then one night we went shopping, and I fixed dinner. And
What did you have?
He's shaking his head.
Was it edible?
Come on, Dad, let's hear your
He
side
ate
of it.
I ate it.
well, I had fixed ham with raisin sauce.
Ooh.
And peas, all things that I liked. and I thought he liked egg salad. Who would ever have egg salad with ham and peas and
Running egg salad.
You want
And
to
it
fix all the best?
it was runny egg salad. The eggs they were hard.
Oh.
And
Gooey.
the gummy raisin sauce and hard peas. And I can't remember what else we had. And chocolate pudding that was
Chocolate pudding.
firm up.
Oh gosh. Oh
And
gosh.
so I cried. I mean, he ate what he could, and I cried and cried and cried.
Oh.
So I think it was the next day we left and went home because it just was pouring. I mean, I don't think we even had a radio. I mean, of course, you didn't have TV or anything,
Yeah, I did.
and we couldn't get out on the beach. I mean, it was awful.
You
So
couldn't even go to the stores. You couldn't get out. You'd soaked by the time you got to the car to go anywhere, and when you got there, you're outside again. So
Well, at least you
Anyway.
remember it.
So what?
it was memorable.
So was that was during the hurricane season? Was there a storm?
Yeah, no, it's hurricane season now.
Yeah, but hurricane season had been extended.
Yeah, but we just had a lot of rain. It wasn't wind and all that sort of thing. It was just heavy rain.
You didn't have radio or TV.
But you probably had
heavy rain.
But I
had
think
some kind of a strong storm come
Might have
through.
hurricane.
But
I would
probably like a
imagine.
nor'easter or something maybe.
Yeah.
But then when we got on the ferry to go home, I think the rain had stopped by then.
Hopefully.
Oh,
Very.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And I didn't take any more pictures of the Bay Bridge.
No.
It's a boat that you put cars on and you go
Oh.
across the water. Then you get off the car.
Oh, I thought they were going on land. I was like, what?
No, sometimes they'll call it a water taxi.
So it's
No, it's
But it
tiny
used to
little
be
ferries
really-
that fly your car.
Yeah.
No.
they all get
No,
on
they had to go
and
across the
let you know.
Chesapeake Bay,
But I got to say,
and there was no
though,
bridge at that time.
Oh.
from that day on, everything looked up.
Right. yeah.
Good.
Well, you know, it is kind of hard to cook stuff when it's It's so humid
Is it
and rainy.
okay if you
Yeah.
please tell us about your honeymoon?
Well, I'm sorry, what did you
Your
say?
honeymoon?
That was their
That was
honeymoon.
Didn't
It was a washout.
Literally, yes.
Wasn't
Literally.
what they planned.
No.
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 I don't think honeymoons usually are.
Dad wasn't really a beach person, though, was he? I
No.
don't remember when we
And of
go
course,
down
I
to
broke
beach.
out. I mean, sitting out in the sun, so, and didn't swim. So,
Excuse
why-
me, can you tell us about how you guys met?
Oh gosh.
Oh no, don't tell her that story.
well,
We never really met. I said eyes on that
Go ahead, you
handsome man.
I think it's grandfather's turn to
In
tell.
those days,
He don't remember.
boys and girls, roughly the same age from high school, would travel together in a gang like. We didn't pair off.
Not a gang. Not a gang.
Not the gang.
Not a gang.
Yeah, in a group. Yeah, it wasn't a gang. In a group, and we'd get together. We'd get together and do things together.
Before gang had a
But-
bad connotation.
We never paired off. They were the Bloods.
we were all gay.
The Bloods.
Happy, meaning happy.
Happy, happy.
You,
Yeah.
you socialized in groups. Well, this is
Right,
getting
and we,
worse and worse.
we enjoyed one another as a group,
And his friends.
as friends.
We were.
Yes,
We were all
went,
friends.
and we did a lot of things together, but we never paired up. Most, I mean, it might one or two, but not generally.
They didn't go out alone.
And then one time, we were had gone to a swimming pool up in Glendon. What are you laughing about?
She knows this.
You're going to laugh already. You know it, don't you? You want to tell the story?
A little bit.
Go ahead. Go let grandfather
What did I
say.
do?
Come on.
What can I want to say?
Go ahead, Grandpa.
So
Continue.
and we were all enjoying the pool there. It's a local pool.
It was somebody's birthday party.
Yeah, somebody's birthday party. We always got together, birthday party, but anything to get together as a group. That's what we did, and we enjoyed one another. But I kind of was. I mean, each of us, I guess, had our eyes on particular ones, but we didn't really go together or anything like that. We went as a group. And one day, we were in the swimming pool or around the pool enjoying it, and this one she couldn't swim. She didn't swim, but she went and she put on her bathing suit and she'd be with the rest of the gang and all. But if she went in, she'd go down to the lower pool
Child's end.
where it was maybe just a little bit above the big kids, and she'd get in there and get wet. But other than that, she didn't go in the water. And a bunch of us guys, being silly, decided what we should do. You know what I'm going to tell you, right? What am I going to tell you?
Come on. Finish telling
What
us.
did I
Tell
do?
him.
She's enjoying you telling it.
Yeah.
So the boys were picking up the girls and throwing them in the pool.
The
Well,
deep end.
that gave me the opportunity to do the same thing. So I picked up this gal and threw her in the deep end. And as she's going down, she's going, glug, glug, I can't swim.
No, I didn't say that. Mickey said,
Yeah.
"You fool! She
went-
can't swim."
She just went down. So what could I do? I threw her in. So I had to go after her.
He had to make a decision. Do I let her sink or?
And another
We
young
call
man,
911.
another
They didn't
young
even
man
have a
did it too.
911 then.
Who was? I thought it was your brother.
The what?
I thought it was your brother.
No,
Yeah.
just another friend, and he jumped in the pool too, and the two of us pulled her out. Of course, when she came out,
I literally drowned her out.
that's how she got the nickname that she carried for many, many years as we were dating, because she
What
spent
nickname?
Yeah, what
Curly.
nickname.
Graham, because I had, had my hair all curled up and everything. And of course, when I
And
came
as
out
soon
of
as
the
she
pool,
went in the water, that was the end of the curl. She had them all
so
curled,
Graham
looked
called
nice.
me Curly.
And when she
Okay.
came out of the
For
water,
years
of
he
course,
called
it
me
was.
Curly.
So from then on, she got the nickname Curly.
I never knew that.
I never knew that.
I don't
either.
remember
I
that.
didn't hear that. Yeah.
Were you mad?
Curly.
Well, only, but
Was I mad?
only against.
Were you
Frank.
mad at him?
Oh, I was.
Was she
Well-
mad at me? Sure, she was mad at it.
Well, I was
But
so
she enjoyed it.
embarrassed.
None too pleased.
And it was
After
well,
she
he
got out.
felt terrible about it, and of course I enjoyed
How terrible.
letting him feel terrible because I had already had my eye on him, because even before this pool party, we had been at a dance at high school, the old Franklin High School, and he and his brother Graham were attending Fort Union Military Academy in Virginia at that point, and they were home for a weekend and had come to the dance because Graham had gone to school with all of us. And Bill, I guess you were already down there. No, well, anyway, you weren't there. You were at another school. And he was leaning against the door frame as you go. Do you remember the old high school? Was it still there when we went? Anyway, he was leaning against the door frame into the auditorium. And I just saw this tall, lanky guy standing there, and, my heart just went, and somebody said, that's Graham's brother. And I can't remember how we got introduced to each other, but he was very, very shy and, didn't want to talk. And we didn't dance together or anything. I don't think you danced with anybody that night.
No.
But anyway, that's how we first. But anyway, so after the drowning party,
No boyfriend?
I kind of thought, well, maybe we'll get to know each other, and we did.
Do I have
The
one?
rest is history.
The
I
rest
have
is
that
history.
So where'd you go on your first date?
To the movies. Where else?
Probably that was everybody's first date, wasn't it?
When?
They're the movies.
I didn't hear what you said.
Movies.
Oh, the movies.
Was
Yeah,
that the drive-in?
No.
No.
That's where the guy was in the room cranking up the machine to turn the thing so the movie would run.
Well,
And they were
I
playing the
know.
piano.
Our first
And the guy
date.
playing the organ.
Our first date was a double date because we always double dated with Graham and Pat, and until Patsy went off to Northwestern University, and
Blanche showed up.
and Blanche was in the picture. Well, we would get together with Aunt Irma, and her first husband, Fred, and play cards at their place. And Blanche lived in the apartment, the house there on Rusherstown Road. I can't think of the people's names.
Christie's.
Christie's, right.
Yeah.
And Fred and Irma lived there, and Blanche had a room there. And they would always invite her to play cards with us, and we always had a good time.
This is E. Irma or I. Irma?
Irma.
The one that threw herself a birthday party.
I remember I. Irma.
So she lived down here
Who? Irma?
with Uncle Fred?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she didn't move to Pennsylvania until she married the second guy, I think it was. I don't remember his name.
Tell them about Aunt I. Irma taking you to Fort Union.
Oh, yeah.
The weekend.
Yeah.
Did she have teeth back then?
I'm sorry?
I said, did she have teeth back then?
Yeah. Yeah, she had her teeth.
I used to love how she'd come down for the dentist and she only had 2 teeth in her mouth. She'd come all the way from Philadelphia down here.
Oh my gosh.
But no, we went down to Fort Union. Mrs. Cox, Gigi, my mother-in-law, decided it would be nice for me to be able to go down to Fort Union to visit Bill, and Graham was still there then too, right? Yeah, Graham was still there. But at any rate, Irma and I drove down to Fort Union, and we got there in the afternoon, and we were with the boys. We saw them marching and going through all the stuff they were doing, and then we had dinner I guess we had dinner at the hotel. The boys had dinner with us. And after dinner, I don't remember what we did, but anyway, it got dark. It was dark. And it was warm weather. I think must have been late spring. And so Irma and I went back to the hotel, and I had a separate room from Irma. And I just assumed we were, down for the night. And so, and of course, no radio, nothing, Here I am in this room, and it's out in the wilderness, really. And only one, I think, overhead light in the room, a bulb. It's hard to even read. But at any rate, the next morning I found out that Irma had gone back to the school, picked up some of the boys, and they had gone to another military school.
No, it was a local high school, Savannah High School.
Oh, okay. Well, you tell it from there, because you were part of it, not me.
I mean, just went to steal the flag off their pole.
Oh,
Wow,
And Irma was
vandals.
Irma was the
Irma
getaway
was the-
car driver.
Right.
yeah, and she was their instigator.
Come on, guys.
You got it.
follow the smoke trail.
They
They were
were
sending us smoke signals.
Oh,
And of
God.
course, they got back to the academy, that had happened.
But she was the chaperone.
Yeah,
She was the
yeah.
She was the chaperone.
So what happened? Did you guys get in trouble?
No, I don't think they could pinpoint who it was.
They never confessed.
I only got in
Good
trouble
thing the
once in
children
my
aren't
life
here to
down
hear
there.
There was no
Yeah,
honor
right.
system.
Right.
You only got in trouble once?
When
There was no honor
When
system.
I-
there. You don't tell the truth.
I come home and I took the grandmother's car back
His mother's car of it.
to the school because I was coming home for Christmas the following week or something like that. So she was going to let me have the car for the whole week, which I wouldn't use. It had been sitting there. So when we got it, I parked it where I was told off of campus, but where it was safe, but I couldn't use the car. And some of the older cadets and one or two of the faculty officers wanted to go to the town below.
Charlottesville?
Huh?
Charlottesville?
No, south of. I can't think of the name of it. But at any rate, it was a big city. Wanted to go there. He was from there, the faculty officer, and the kids were, they were all for it. So we went, and we didn't get home until way after taps. And of course, we weren't in our barracks, and we were listed as not
AWOL.
there. So the next morning at mess one, they always would give announcements, announce them, and the cadets so and so and so and so and so and so report to the commandant's office right after mess one. Well, the three of us knew exactly why they were calling, and so we walked in with tongue in cheek. He was a nice guy. The commandant was really a wonderful man, very fair, but he was also strict. And we walked in, and he was sitting behind his desk, and he didn't look up. He was just looking at the paper he had in front of him, and I forget what he said, but it was something like he wanted to know what had happened. No, he asked, "Were you late getting home last night?" And of course, we had to say yeah because we weren't there, and he knew it. He just wanted to hear us say yeah. So he said, "Okay, dismissed." And we walked out. We had so many demerits. The next morning, we hauled out of bed and we had to go and walk the circle. So for so many hours, I only did it one time, one day, and it was only an hour or so, which wasn't bad. And I never got it again. And everybody else got more and had to work more. And of course,
Mr.
you
Green,
keep your mouth shut. If I was the one that provided the car. He knew that.
And drove it.
You know, he knew it was me. But for some reason or other, he only gave me that one demerit. That
Did you
I
get
had
to
walk
keep the
one
keys
time.
to the car? And
Oh yes, he asked me. That's yeah. As we were leaving the office, he said, "Whose car is it?" And of course, I said it was mine. He said, "Leave the keys here when you go." and they had it moved off the campus to be sure it was away from me, and kept the keys until it was time for me to go back home. And he gave me the keys back. That's the only time I ever got in trouble and had to walk in.
So did Grandma and Grandfather find out about it? Were they called?
No, I don't think. No, I don't remember ever saying that. I don't know. I don't remember. They might have, but I mean, what are they going to say? I've done it. I paid for it, and I was careful, and he knew that there were faculty officers in that car too. He couldn't be sure of that,
right.
and he didn't get that. So he knew that there were adults that were in that car. And you probably know who they were because who lived down there,
Right.
He was no dummy. He was pretty smart guy.
I'm still surprised you didn't get more demerits because you're the one with the car.
I know,
Right.
but
But
that's
yeah, but
probably
he probably got
why.
talked into it.
That's probably why they
Yeah, I got
No.
off easy. I really did.
he knew who the others were, and he knew that they had
I'm
talked to him
thinking
into
those
taking his
players
car.
may be
Can you get out and get some food?
in danger.
I'm so stuck here.
So,
Well, thank you all very, very much for
Recording.
everything.
Yeah, my goodness me, this is really a surprise.
Well, it looks like you got enough lunch.